welcome back to Comic Frontline, everybody. I am Brant Fowler, aka the Gonzo Goose, back with you for another review. This time we're talking Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, issue number 1, DC Rebirth. Now, if you guys watched my review of the Rebirth issue, you know I think I gave it 5 stars. So I really loved that book, and I was hoping that this one would live up to the hype. And for me personally, I think it did. But before I get into it, there will be minor spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, go ahead and read it first before you watch this review. So, creative team. Written by Julie Benson and Shauna Benson, art by Claire Rowe, colors by Alan Pasalacqua, and letters by Steve Wands, which I have to commend the lettering here. I love the lettering, especially the captions with the kind of, there's like this black box with this funky text over it. Nice job with the lettering. And covers by Yannick Paquette and Nathan Fairbairn. Variant cover by Kamom Shiran Hama. I'm sorry, I'm butchering these names. Anyway, let's get into the story. This picks up right where the Rebirth issue left off. We know that Huntress is hunting down mob families. It's kind of the classic thing with Huntress, because you know her family was murdered many years ago, and now she's hunting them down, and it's kind of causing her to cross paths with Batgirl and Black Canary, who are trying to figure out who this new Oracle is. So that's where we pick up, and systematically every person that Black Canary and Batgirl go after, Huntress beats them to the punch, and she's already there. And so it's your classic, typical heroes battle before they team up kind of thing. But it's done really well here. We start off the issue with this flashback sequence with some inner monologue by Black Canary talking about the old days of the Birds of Prey, and how Oracle was personal to Batgirl, and how all the intel from Batgirl kind of put Black Canary in some places that she didn't want to be, like riding a subway train all day, but her intel was usually dead on. So we kind of got that kind of flashback of their relationship back then, which was really cool to see. And then we go right back into where the Rebirth issue left off and pick up where they're fighting with Huntress over who gets to get to the mob boss, but somebody gets to him first. And we find out who that is later, as the Asp shows up at another mob boss's place with all the snakes and everything. Excuse me. So that's kind of the track we're going. We're going to be going through these mob bosses with the Birds of Prey. And we learn that there is a new mob boss in town named Fenice. And this is a woman, and she's kind of trying to take down all the other mob bosses. So things are getting a little bit messier here, and Oracle is supplying Fenice with information. So the Birds of Prey find out that they have to team up to be able to figure out who Fenice is and who Oracle is, and take them both down. And even though their methods don't align, it's got to work this way. But unfortunately, Oracle is onto them, Fenice is onto them, and now everybody's going to be coming after them as this issue ends. I absolutely love this issue. I thought the pacing was perfect. I love the flashback sequences. All the inner monologue was excellent. The dialogue was perfect. The battle between Batgirl and Huntress, both physically, there was a good physical scene where Batgirl and Black Canary both fought Huntress, and it took both of them to take her down, so it kind of showed how formidable she was. And the war of words between Batgirl and Huntress at one point was really nicely done as well. So I love this. The art is fantastic. It's gorgeous. There's some great action scenes. There's one scene where Huntress is kind of skidding on her motorcycle, and Black Canary's dialogue said, I gotta admit, that was a pretty cool move. And some other action scenes like that involving vehicles, and just the fight scenes, the up close, like I mentioned, her fighting Black Canary and Batgirl at one point. There was some up close martial arts going on with some blocks and stuff. I thought it was really well done. The coloring is really nice. It sets the tone for the story. It takes place at night in Gotham, so you know you got to get that tone right. It's a specific tone, and I think they nailed it here. But at the same time, the brightness of like Batgirl's costume and stuff, certain things were highlighted the way they should be, that stood out. So excellent job all throughout. The inking was great, the coloring was great, the art was great, dialogue was great. I love this book. So far, so good. I think it's excellent, and I think the Bensons are doing a phenomenal job with this particular book. So, for me, this one again was another 5-star book. I'm giving 5 stars to Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. Issue number 1. Can't wait for the next issue. This is one of my most anticipated Rebirth books, and it's one I'm most excited about now. So can't wait for the next issue, and I hope you guys loved it as much as I do. I really didn't have any. Well, okay, artistically, I did have one problem, which is the snakes. There was a couple of pages where they were just kind of sketched in, and they weren't fully detailed or anything. It kind of bothered me a little bit, but that's it. It's a tiny little nitpick on some snakes, and it's not a big deal. There were other animals. There was like a peacock and a tiger that were beautiful. So, anyway, it sounds like they went to the zoo or something, but the exotic mansion, you'll see. But I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below after you've read it, what you thought of this issue, if you loved it as much as I did, or if you didn't, what specifically you didn't like about it. So leave a comment below, and as always, thanks for watching. Please check out zone4podcast.com. We'll have a new episode of Hall of Toys, hopefully up this week. Schedules are kind of getting iffy with that, and Zone 4 next week for sure. Check out lastnumberpress.com. Got a lot of cool things going on there. Got some stuff upcoming. Join our mailing list, because we're going to be starting to send out email updates very, very soon with production notes and stuff. And we've got a Patreon page that we're going to be launching very soon as well. So check all that out and join us on the live show. Check out all the other reviews and content here on Comic Frontline. Check out comicfrontline.com. And as always, thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the